Yo, welcome back to another edition of the Coach's Corner. We're back here at the Tivoli Tap House where you can get yourself a bacon avocado burger. Best thing of both worlds, bacon and avocado. Well, whilst you're at it, why not get yourself a Black House Nitro? Hey, that sounds good even on paper. I would get it, I'm telling you. Do your tummy a favor and let it loose. Foremost, I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Hector Cervantes, alongside Brenda Vasquez. Brenda, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't like this weather, though. It's too cold for me.
Okay. How's your weekend? Tell us.
It was chill. I mean, I didn't do much. I just stayed home, basically. Played a couple soccer games, and that was basically
Hey, that's fine. That's
you?
pretty fine. Well, I was sick for most of it, so it was kind of,
Oh, yeah.
Staying, laying low. Yeah. So could you tell us who do we have here today?
Yeah, of course. So the volleyball team got back in the winning track just this past weekend, so we're going to bring in head coach Jenny Glenn, since those playoffs are just around the corner. And speaking of postseason, the cross-country team competed in the South Central Regional Championships, so we have to bring in the man in charge, who is Nick Lara, to tell us how it went. And then we're going to also get to know sophomore runner Makenna Kemp, and we're going to get her thoughts on the big meet that took place in Texas last Saturday.
Yeah, man, you got to love those crossovers between fall sports and winter sports. But before we get into it, let's bring you on some Roadrunner news that happened this weekend. After dropping a tough one to Regis last Tuesday, the team rebounded to take down South Dakota Mines on Friday. Sophomore Evaline Lai crushed it for the Roadrunners, pounding out 12 kills, hitting 364 while adding a couple blocks. The chaos came from everywhere, as 8 different Roadrunners had at least 1 kill. Coach Glenn's squad swept Black Hills State the following night and are currently sitting on second place on those RMAC standings.
Let's get into some women's soccer who took part in the RMAC tournament this past weekend. They first took on Dixie State in the first round, and Yaya Gamboa got the red and blue on the board in the first 5 minutes of the game. The Trailblazers would tie up. On this corner kick, Alexa Ashton finds the back of the net, also in the first half. This game went into PKs. Maddie Reeder hits this shot, and MSU Denver goes up 4-3. A chance for Dixie to tie, but Emily Kim makes the save, and the Roadrunners advance to the RMAC semifinals. But that's where the season would end, as they fell to Colorado Mines 2-0 on Sunday.
The cross-country team completed the South Central Regional Championships in Canyon, Texas, this past Saturday. The women's team was once again led by Alden Crudell, who would finish 8th overall. The squad as a whole would finish 6th overall. Alden has earned a spot at the national meet as an individual. The men finished 8th overall. Jacob Ling was the top men's finisher, crossing the line in the 34th place.
The men's basketball team opened up their new season on the road and took on 24th-ranked Torreston State. Coach Ball's team actually held a 36-34 lead at the break, but the Texans would shoot 46% in the second half to pull away for the 85-71 win. 9 different Roadrunners scored a point and were led by Drews Asaf, 14 points.
The women also knocked off the 2019-2020 campaign on the road and also took on the ranked team this weekend. They battled number 1 ranked Lubbock Christian in Pueblo and were within 6 points with just under 5 minutes to go. But the defending national champion pulled away for the 10-point win. Jella Richardson led Coach Have's squad with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. So, are you doing good, Coach?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
We now welcome in Coach, our head coach for our cross-country team, Nick Lara. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys today?
Good.
Pretty good.
Just a little cold.
Yeah, it is a little cold. It's going to be 60 tomorrow, so.
Yeah, hopefully better.
Way better. So before we get into the regional meet, we want to ask you about the conference meet that took place in Grand Junction. Your men's team have had the best meet this season. Tell us what went well, what went good in that.
Yeah, so the guys looked pretty good. It was a nice day out in Grand Junction, 60 degrees and a fairly flat course. They prepared well going into the week, and so they looked pretty good. But we came away with the men's school record. 2 of our guys broke the school record, and so that was a good thing, and seems to be moving pretty good.
Good.
So Alde Gurdell had another stellar performance, shattering the previous Roadrunner 6K record by 40 seconds. How did that race pan out for the junior?
I thought it went pretty good. You know, she's still learning. She's very new to the whole competing at that kind of level. She was going against probably two of the best girls, probably if not in the country, but in probably all the world. And you know, to come up just a little short behind them was an astounding achievement.
Yeah.
But she's still learning, and she's getting better week by week. And we really hope that she can do something here coming up at the national meet.
Of course. So can you give her your thoughts on the rest of the women's team? Who would finish 7th overall?
Who finished 7th overall? I don't know who finished 7th overall. I think, team finished 7th. Yeah, so the 7th place finish was pretty good. I thought we could have been a little bit better at the conference meet, to be honest. You know, I was expecting a little bit more, but you know, going into the regional meet, we kind of reconciled that, you know, and had a good performance there. So.
Okay.
So your squad had a couple weeks to prepare for the regional championship. Did you guys do anything different, or was it just like usual business?
Yeah, I mean, we tapered off quite a bit. I mean, the kids have been running anywhere from 50 to about 80 miles a week, and so we tapered coming into that, and they looked, you know, pretty fresh going into the regional meet. So that was good. So that was a little bit something different.
Good.
So getting into the big meet in Canyon, Texas, how were the conditions down there? How were the tracks? Because it could be like pretty windy over there, right?
Yeah, you know, actually the wind wasn't much of a factor. It was actually just kind of dusty from where they put the course. But it wasn't too bad of a course. It was a nice 60 degrees by the time the guys ran. The girls it was a little more 40 degrees, but it didn't seem to be too much of an issue for anybody.
That's good.
So let's talk about your men's race. It was actually a 10K, which is a lot longer than the usual runs you guys do. Did that affect your team in any way?
No, I don't think it affected us, but it's always hard getting the first 10K out of the way. You know, all season long we run 8K most of the year, and then as we get into the regional national meet, we run 10K on the men's side. So running your first one is everybody's kind of cautious with it because we're going another mile and a quarter. But it didn't seem to mess us up too much.
Good. So do you think your squad performed really good, or how do you think they performed?
You know, on the men's side, I thought we left some things out there on the table. I thought we could have been a little bit better. I would probably grade us probably a little bit average. You know, again, it's hard. You know, you're putting all your eggs in one basket for one meet, and so it kind of can be pretty difficult at times. But they did well. I think they did the best they could that day, and we'll have to do better next year.
Yeah. We wish you the best next year as well. So the women came into the meet ranked 7th in the region, and they would finish 6th at the regional championships. Can you tell us how the race went for the women, and how are we feeling about their chances to earn a spot in the national meet?
So yeah, going into the weekend, you know, we had our sights on. There's a couple teams we probably definitely needed to beat. We knew we needed to beat CSU Pueblo. We needed to beat Dixie State to even have an outside chance of making the national meet. We did that. But unfortunately, we came out on the short end of the stick this time. We did not make the national meet on the women's side, so we'll only have one representative in Alden to go into the national meet. But as far as the race went, you know, it lined up pretty good for us. You know, it was a little slow early, and it kept a lot of people in the race, and that was good. But you know, we just kind of came up a little short. But I thought we did what we needed to do in order to have a chance to make the national meet, and that's all I could really ask for.
Yeah, so talking about Alden, you always told us that she knows how to run, but she still learns how to race.
Right.
You think she actually raced on this one?
She did. You know, I mean, she's been running really courageous, and I couldn't be any more proud of her for the way she's been racing. Again, you know, she's running against some of the top girls in the country, and then some of the best girls in the world, and you know, she's out there fighting, you know, the whole way, and she ended up getting caught a little bit down the stretch, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can iron that out and get ready for the national meet and come home with an All-American.
So you've run in your fair share of the national meets in your time at the Adams State. What is it like running on the biggest stage of Division II, and what is it to come out toward the front?
Yeah, you know, I think it takes a certain mindset to win a national title. You definitely have to be prepared, but a lot of it is up to the mind. A lot of people, when the lights get bright, they tend to shy away from being really competitive. And for me as an athlete, it was all about going out there and competing and being as tenacious as I could. And so, I think for any young kid that's going to go into national meet, you have to prepare yourself mentally more than anything, because everybody at that point is physically gifted and has done a lot of training and has done a lot of those things to make themselves good. But to be the best, you have to, really have the mindset and be able to go out there when things seem to be the most uncomfortable and be able to push through those things.
Of course. So what will you have Alden do in order to prepare for that meet in Sacramento, California in a few weeks?
Yeah, so this week will be a little bit easier. We want to make sure that we get our legs back underneath her after a tough race and traveling all the way to Texas and back. But later in the week, we'll probably do some pretty high intense stuff, maybe a little bit of a time trial on Saturday. And then, as we lead into the national meet, we'll leave here probably a Wednesday or Thursday and kind of get out there and get a feel for the environment and what it's like to be out there. So, we're excited, and I think we have a good shot of coming home with a top 10 finish.
Of course. Good luck.
So, Coach, we're going to have Makenna Kemp a little later tonight. Can you tell us how her sophomore year has gone?
I think it's been good for Makenna. When I first met Makenna, she was probably a 24 or 30 girl. She's run 22 minutes for me now. She's had a breakthrough season, and she's really approached things differently with a better mindset. And so I couldn't be any more proud of Makenna for the things that she's done for our program and where she's going to be in a year from now. I really expect big things for her as we lead into indoor and outdoor track now.
Yeah, she's going to grow a lot.
Yeah.
So, Coach, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course.
It.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yes. So before we go, we're actually going to bring you the tweet of the week. It comes from the university account at MSU Denver. It's a simple tweet that says a lot. It just states, "Happy Veterans Day," in support of all those who served and protected this country. So if you see someone or know someone that has served this United States, let them know that they are appreciated. That's going to be all for right now, but we're going to be right back. Stay tuned in the Coach's Corner.
In the heart of the city, Metropolitan State University of Denver is holding the line on the American dream. Our students come from every background and experience. They are tenacious, purposeful, entrepreneurial. They choose the highest quality and best value in Colorado higher education, and they choose their own roads for more than 70 undergrad and graduate degrees. Relevant, hands-on, and affordable education. Discover your road to success at msudenver.edu.
Hi, I'm Kayla White, junior outside hitter for the volleyball team, and you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy! I said Coach's Corner. You did? You did. Hi, I'm Kayla White, junior outside hitter for the volleyball team, and you're watching. Oh! I got it right. Hi, I'm Kayla White, junior outside hitter for the volleyball team, and you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy!
Perfect. Oh, great. That's solid. That's good.
So let's get into this past weekend. Your team first took on South Dakota Mines and then came in with the RMAX leader in kills and in kills per set. When you see that, do you go out of your way to slow her down, or do you just play as if it was just any other game?
Yeah, when you have someone hitting over 4 kills a set and leading the RMAC, you got to pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. So we definitely had a game plan against her. She went off on us the first time we played them up at their place toward the end of the match. So we felt like we needed to have a better game plan, and I thought we did a really good job taking her out of the match and limiting her role, and I think it was critical in our win.
Mm-hmm.
So it must have worked. She only had 8 kills and 40 attempts. And the other side of the court, Evelyn Lai had a great weekend overall, including a team-high 12 kills on Friday. You told our boss over here, Eric Lansing, that you love the attitude she brings to the court every day. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, she's really grown this year. You know, I think last year she doubted herself a lot and was timid and a freshman and kind of figuring out her role. But this year she's really come into her role, and she's become a significantly better blocker and just a force to be reckoned with on the right side. I think a lot of left sides in the conference are probably scared to face her. And she's also just got, we've increased her tool belt from an attacking standpoint. She's a true middle, actually playing on the right. And so we have her running on different sets, and she's just found this new level of aggressiveness that has served her really well.
So after sweeping the Hard Rockers 3-0, you took on Black Hills State on Saturday, and it was a senior night. We know you've talked up to your only seniors quite a bit already. So is there a funny story or perhaps a moment in Eliza Kellings with the time that you've stood out that you can share with us?
Oh man,
You're like,
trying
there's a
to
lot.
think. Alyssa's she's just fun to be around. I think one of her best attributes is her smile and her laugh, and she has that Wisconsin accent, and so she's always saying things a little bit funny, but she loves cats. I'm trying to think of different characteristics of her. You know, I think it's been kind of a funny year because even in leadership meetings and things, she's recognized. She's like, Jenny, I think I'm just like you, and we have so many of our characteristics in common and how we approach things, and so it's been just a fun year, you know, from a coach standpoint to have someone that kind of thinks similar to you too on the floor. But yeah, we're going to miss her a lot. She's an awesome kid.
We're going to ask you about redshirt freshman Amber Kenty, who has been playing quite a bit lately for you. So can you tell us what she has done to step up into that role?
Yeah, Amber's done a great job. She, you know, has stepped up when we had an injury, and she's done a really nice job of just stepping into that role. Her and Ava are actually roommates, so those two playing next to each other is quite comical sometimes. I think they really feed off each other, which is fun. But Amber's a hardworking athlete, and she just brings her best. She's a very unselfish player, and so whatever the team needs her to do, she's doing. And we're trying some new things offensively with her to get her greater opportunities, and you know, she's just getting better each and every week because she really has played on the right side for us some, but has never really played in matches in the middle. So she's kind of green in that area, and she just has hit the ground running, and you wouldn't know. She's jumping in there and doing a great job.
Good. So your squad was tied with the Yellow Jackets 16-16 in the third set. Then your team reeled up to 9 points. You always talked about being resilient, but what did your performance say to you about their squad?
Yeah, so Kayla White served out the match from 16-16. So I was really proud of her for her composure at the service line. It would have been easy to give them an easy one from a service error, but she stuck strong back there, and we played really composed and just took it 1 point at a time. I told Eric after the match I didn't even realize it was a 9-point run because we were so in the moment, which is what we are focusing on right now, and being present and staying kind of focused on what's right in front of us. So I thought we did a nice job with that, and it was a tight match there for a second, and then all of a sudden we looked up and it was 25-16. So I was pleased with how we took it 1 point at a time.
Yeah.
So next up for your squad is back-to-back games with Shadrian State and Shadrian, Nebraska. So can you tell us, is that just how it was laid out? Or, I mean, I imagine it must be really hard to play back-to-back to another team, right?
Yeah, so the old coach there and I made an agreement last year. We're travel partners, so instead of us traveling up there on a Tuesday or them traveling down here, since it's such a far distance, we agreed for them to play us back-to-back here last year, and we go to Shadron and play back-to-back last year, and then we go there this year. So yeah, they're playing really well right now. They need to beat us to get into the RMAC tournament, so I fully expect a battle. It's a great gym, a great environment to play in, and we'll just get settled in there for a couple days and play some volleyball.
Nice, yeah. Cool. So, Coach, it's time for some Roadrunner trivia.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna give you some. First, a multiple choice question.
Oh, multiple choice.
So let's
like
tell
that.
you how the standings are right now. So you're in third place, right behind Coach Shao, and so you need at least 2 points to go into second place. All right?
Second. How far am I away from first? Who cares about second?
3 points. So you're
Is that even possible tonight?
not tonight.
Come on, Eric. Come on. Give me a bonus. Give me a bonus.
Okay, so let's see. Here we go. We saw Alyssa Kelling move up in the blocking assist leaderboard this past weekend, now sitting at 5th place in the program history. So this leads us to ask, who is the all-time leader in block assist? Is it A, Julia Cussa? Is it B, Chrissy Canada? Or is it C, Amy Watanabe?
It is definitely not Amy Watanabe, although I missed that the last time for service aces. I am going to go with Chrissy Canada.
Oh, that's correct.
Yes.
That's what I'm for.
I went 0 for last time, so I needed that win.
Yep.
So we have a bonus question for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Elisa recently moved into 5th place, as we mentioned, and did so by passing a former teammate. Who was that teammate?
Stephanie Laraway.
Yes.
Oh, that's 2.
Two
Now
for
she's
2.
in second place.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there a second bonus question?
Blame Eric.
I know who the leader in aces all time is. It's Amy Watanabe, in case you're wondering.
Is that an extra point, Eric? Wow, I tried.
It's like a test correction.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for
It's always a
having
blast. So we're going to have a second break, but stay tuned. Up next in the Coach's Corner.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Hi, I'm Jessie Chappa from the cross country team, and you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back. And now we have sophomore Makenna Kemp from the cross country team. Hello, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. So I noticed you are not nervous today. This is your first time on the Coach's Corner, is that correct?
And it's not going to be the last one, right?
I'm a little nervous.
Oh, you are? You don't show it. Okay, that's good. That means that you have confidence.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we were talking with your coach a bit earlier. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, Coach Lara is awesome. He's definitely brought in kind of a belief system to our program that I think has been really valuable to each and every one of us, and like our vision and what we want to do as a team. So he's great.
Cool.
So give us your thoughts on how your women's team performance went at the regional championships this past weekend.
So we had a lot of people step up their game, and overall, like, I'm really proud of everyone in general this season, just for everyone's been PRing. Alden, of course, is qualified for nationals, so we're really happy about that. And overall, we're just really happy with like how we've come together in races. We talk about packing up a lot, and I think we did a good job of that at the regional championships.
Good. So how did the race go for you? We heard Coach say that you passed a bunch of CSU Pueblo runners in the what's it called, the final kilometer.
Yeah, so pretty much the whole week leading up to regionals, I had those girls on my mind. They got us at conference. So the last kilometer, I had a couple of them in front of me, and I just kind of was like, I need to get these girls if we're gonna beat them. So it was a tough place.
Did your job,
tough race, but we got there.
So going back to your coach, can you tell us a little bit more about him? Like, do you feel he's a good coach for you guys? I mean, he's his first year, right? So is it something weird? Or is it cool? How is it, the chemistry?
The chemistry, also, honestly, like, we all really bonded with Coach Lara really quickly. And like I said, like, he's a great coach. Like, I have PR'd this season. We've all just been throwing PRs out like crazy. So obviously, what he's doing is working for us, and he's a really awesome dude. And, we have fun at practice. We have fun when we travel. That's really important, too.
Tell us what you are majoring in and what's the dream job.
So I'm majoring in nutrition and dietetics. The dream for me, ultimately, I really want to be a registered dietitian, and I kind of want to get into like the food counseling side of it. I really enjoy that as well.
Do you plan to like stay here in Denver, or do you plan to move to another state, or what do you plan to do?
For now, I love Denver. I love living here. I'm open to moving somewhere else, but I love the city.
And who motivated you to study what you're studying?
Honestly, growing up, I was always really into like watching my mom like run her half marathons, and she always like took me to like her gym, and like we would box together. So I guess it kind of went hand in hand. I just kind of got into fitness in general. The food side, it interested me, so I decided to study that.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Nice.
So is running a thing that you always been doing since little, or have you done other sports too?
So I played basketball in middle school, and I didn't start running until about my sophomore year of high school. So I guess in terms of how long some other people have been running, I'm kind of new to it. And like I said, yeah, growing up, I played basketball.
Yeah. Do you like basketball?
I love basketball.
Yeah.
I love watching basketball. Yeah. Like, I love the Nuggets games.
I played basketball my senior year of high school, and I loved it, but I wish I could have like played it before, because I play soccer, but I missed out on it. So, and then I also played volleyball for my last year. Yeah.
Can you tell us who your favorite team is?
The Denver Nuggets.
Have you been to any games?
Yeah, well, not this season. They just started, but like I try to go to multiple games every season. It's like my favorite thing.
So will you compete in the indoor season coming up? And if so, what events will you take part in?
I will be competing in indoor. I'll probably be competing in the 1600. Last year I did like 1 or 2 800s, but I mostly stuck in that like 1600 meter race for most of the season.
And is there any event you would like to try by Coach Christopher will have nothing of it?
Probably like a 200 meter. She'd probably be like, nope, you're not sprinting.
Yeah.
Well,
I did it in high school, so.
You can do it here too, right?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Right.
yeah. Oh, well, I think that's all we have for you tonight, those questions. Perhaps we can see you another time. I mean, you look confident, so that's always good. Yeah, of course. We want to wish you the best of luck in your upcoming runs.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So before we end up and wrap up everything, we want to tell you about what's happening this week in Roadrunner sports. As we mentioned, the volleyball team will head to the road for their final regular season weekend of this season. They'll face off against the Eagles from Cadron State, both on Thursday and Friday night. The Red and Blues are looking to lock up a home playoff game with a couple of wins this weekend. The women's basketball team will head back to the road to continue their season. Coach Have's squad will venture to Moorhead, Minnesota to take the Minnesota State Moorhead on Friday and then against St. Cloud State on Saturday. You can visit roadrunnersathletics.com to find all the video links for all the games.
And on one last note, we are happy to announce that the Student Athlete of the Week is once again Alden Gurdell, who had a sensational finish at the cross-country regional meet in Texas. The junior finished 8th overall and earned herself a spot in the NCAA National Championship meet in a few weeks. Gurdell continues to have a stellar 2019 season, and we want to wish her the best at Nationals.
And this is going to wrap everything for tonight. I want to thank you for sticking with us tonight. I want to thank Coach Glenn, Coach Lara, and Makenna for staying with us tonight too. For Brenda Vasquez, I'm Hector Cervantes. See you next time in the Coach's Corner. Peace.